Welcome back to my channel. Today we will go deeper into the details of how to build the optimal power for Batman Death Metal in the game DC Dark Legion. I know this video will not have many views because he will not be popular, so there will be very few people who need this guide, but I still make it because maybe in the future someone will need it. After learning about the skill set and the position of this hero in the meta in the video where I reviewed him, many of you are probably wondering how to fully exploit the potential of a character that has such a unique summon playstyle. The core direction that I want to share with you is to focus all resources into the attack stat and the energy recovery ability, because the power of the Blackest Bat Swarm is inherited directly from Batman's attack stat. While his survivability has already been secured very well thanks to the Bat Swarm and the untargetable mechanic, putting all equipment and resources into damage will help Batman Death Metal become a machine that sweeps the enemy team as quickly as possible. We will not prioritize too much on defensive stats or health, but instead turn this hero into a massive spiritual damage source to completely dominate the battle from the very first seconds. To optimize the power for Batman Death Metal, the first and most important item that you need to focus on is the legacy piece called Blackest Bats. I strongly recommend that you prioritize upgrading this item to the maximum level as quickly as possible, because when it reaches a high level, it will unlock extremely important activation milestones that completely change the flow of the battle. The most notable one is the ability to immediately summon two bats right when the battle begins, and at the same time help Batman recover a large amount of energy whenever a teammate falls, allowing him to continuously use ultimate. Besides that, the base stats of this item, such as granting a very large amount of attack and spiritual amp, are truly signature stats that cannot be replaced, because they directly increase the power of each attack and the toughness of the summoned bat swarm. In addition to the legacy piece, when you perform transmute for the equipment system, including helmet, armor, boots, gloves, and belt, my honest advice is to focus entirely on finding attribute lines that increase damage across all 5 upgrade tiers. Putting all effort into attack lines when performing transmute will help Batman Death Metal maximize the total damage output, turning every song he plays into a true nightmare for the enemy team without having to split resources into unnecessary defensive stats. An extremely important part that defines the power of Batman Death Metal is the choice of set bonuses when you upgrade equipment to higher levels. Right now, we have 3 of the most notable options that need to be considered, which are Energy Surge, Battle Ready, and Momentum. With Energy Surge, the strongest point is the ability to automatically recover additional energy every second and increase a very large amount of ultimate damage after the battle has passed 15 seconds. Meanwhile, the Battle Ready set has a stacking direction when it continuously increases attack and defense over time, allowing our hero to become stronger and stronger in the later stage of the battle. If you want an explosive start, the Momentum set will be the most suitable choice when it greatly increases attack and energy recovery speed during the first 15 seconds of the fight. Because each character can only use 5 pieces of equipment, I want to give you 2 of the most optimal combination options right now. The top priority choice is to activate all 5 energy surge lines so that Batman can continuously cast ultimate, helping maintain the bat swarm on the battlefield as consistently as possible and receive an extremely massive amount of damage buffs. However, if you are not lucky enough to own all 5 identical lines, a flexible combination between 2 energy surge lines with 2 battle ready or momentum lines is also a very smart approach to maximize the bonus stats right from the early stage of the battle. Besides optimizing equipment, the Multiversal Force system also plays a decisive role in unlocking the full power of Batman Death Metal. The number one priority rule that you need to remember is to invest all AC and AD shards into nodes that increase damage output. Focusing as much as possible on attack stats will help the summoned bat swarm deliver more powerful slashes, while also pushing the damage from the ultimate skill to the highest level possible. Defensive stats or health increase should only be considered for upgrades when you truly have excess resources, or after you have already reached the necessary damage milestones for your team. The reason for this absolute priority lies in Batman's special combat mechanic, where he always has the untargetable state as long as the Bat Swarm and other teammates are still present on the battlefield. Because of that, instead of investing in defense, having an enormous amount of damage to eliminate enemies quickly is the most effective way to protect yourself, allowing Batman Death Metal to stay safe while constantly unleashing his fury on the entire enemy team. However, because heroes that deal area damage can still hit him, you should consider increasing a small amount of health to improve the survival of both himself and the Bat Swarm. To optimize the effectiveness of this build in real battles, the team formation placement for Batman Death Metal is just as important as equipment stats. My advice is that you should prioritize placing him in the backline or in hidden positions where enemy heroes cannot reach him as early as possible. This is extremely important so Batman has enough space and time to build up power during the first 15 seconds of the battle, allowing the effects from the set bonuses to fully activate and push the damage output to the highest level. One very important note that you must not ignore is the influence of the legacy piece on Batman's safety. Without this item to summon bats right when the battle starts, Batman can easily become a valuable target for fast-attacking assassins, such as Deathstroke, to eliminate immediately before he can cast any skill. Therefore, having the Bat Swarm early not only activates the untargetable state, but is also the key to protecting Batman Death Metal and his teammates from sudden burst damage situations, ensuring that he can stand firm and perform his deadly music until the battle ends. The most effective power building formula for Batman Death Metal is the combination of maximizing the attack stat and recovering energy as quickly as possible. When you achieve this balance, Batman will not only deal an enormous amount of damage, but will also become almost immortal on the battlefield thanks to the continuous protection from the summoned Bat Swarm. I also want to emphasize one more thing. A hero with only blue stars or white stars cannot be used to fight against players with purple, yellow, or red stars, so you will see that he is very weak. My Wonder Woman Death Metal is the same. She cannot be used in player versus player. She is only used in combat cycle because she receives a large percentage boost there. So if you do not spend a lot of money and you do not need to collect heroes, you can confidently skip him and focus on limited heroes instead, because actually the number of people who can own him at a usable level is very small. I hope that the detailed instructions about equipment, set bonuses, as well as how to allocate points in today's video will help you optimize the full power of this mad genius guitar player in your team. Do not forget to leave your feedback and also share your own character build results in the comment section below so we can discuss together. Thank you for spending time watching. I wish you enjoyable gaming moments and see you again in the next guide videos on my channel.
Don't underestimate me!
I'm just gonna Nightwing it.
I'm ready and waiting. I feel revived.